And recording. So, going through the journal here of suggestions I've had, there's a band that's kind of popping out at me called Ember Falls. Never heard them before, but the name sounds really interesting, especially the song "We Are Become Fire." It sounds like a great title, and it sounds like this will be pretty heavy too. So this is the official music video. It's about 4.5 minutes, so like an average length for like a single. I'm not sure what kind of metal this is probably gonna be, but I'm curious to find out. So go. Electronic.
Is there anyone out there for us? With the city lane falling to dust, is there anything left to say? Our prayers now lie buried in this rust. Is there any salvation for us in whatever is left of this cross? Maybe the devil is the only one to love. These souls in wonderland. It's so well we die, tracing the sky, twilight in our eyes. We are disposable, we are collateral, we are the ultimate powers that terminal. Purifier, rectifier, existential equalizer, the burning God on the wire. We have become fire. Come the fire, fiery hour. I am all thy holy power. The world is ours to devour. We have become in the coals of the final morning. Feel the fury in the embers glowing. They could never repay the way our lives were violently devoured. Raise up bosses in some prison. All will witness the face of thy arm. The Savior is born. Say the verses of a cosmic swan. Purifier, rectifier, existential equalizer, the burning God on the wire. We have become fire. Come the fire, fiery hour. I am all thy holy power. The world is ours to devour. We have become.
Oof. So there's a lot happening. I did not expect this. Like, this just came out of the gates just with a bunch of energy. A bunch of energy. And that chorus is catchy as hell. Yeah, there's a nice swing, a nice groove to the drumming in that chorus part. And the main singer's vocals like sound pretty good during that part. When it started, his vocals threw me off a little bit just because I didn't think it fit with the music. But I think as it's playing more and more, like his voice is starting to settle for me. Like I'm getting used to it. There's a lot of keyboard in this, and like kind of like not necessarily EDM, but more like trance, I guess. And that particular sound with like a heavier guitar, like a heavier guitar forward band, always makes me think of like Crossbreed, which is an old band, and like 20 years ago, something like that. That's one of the only bands that I can usually reference with that kind of sound. But the rest of the band is just more like reminding me of like Dragon Force for some reason. That's the first band that popped up. They're going super heavy, super fast. The background vocals are nice and heavy, nice and growly. Yeah, it's like a nice counterpoint to the really clean, really high register vocals of the main singer. And for a second, I thought that was a tattoo around his eye, but it looks like the drummer had the same symbol, so that's probably just the logo for the band, and maybe they all have it. Don't know. I'm gonna move it back a little because it looks like it's transitioning into a different section. Go. Is he plugged into like a battery?
There's a reason why it's the way we die. There's a reason why it's the way we die. There's a reason why it's the way we die.
Not Dragon.
Together we will lie, join and say goodbye.
That had a lot of energy. What's going on there? I don't think I was following the narrative of the video enough, so I don't know what that ending meant. Were they all meant to be plugged into that electronic thing? Who knows? Yeah, this was so fast, so energetic. I think I said Dragon Force earlier, but when the guy started soloing, it sounded more like heavy metal than metal, like more rock and roll kind of, I guess. So yeah, different band, sounded like a different band. But I like the different influences they had. Once I got used to the sound, because I was kind of caught off guard initially because I wasn't sure what to expect. Yeah, it just started kind of like rocking out to it. That chorus part is just catchy. Like, it's so catchy. Like, you can't help but like bob your head and like want to move to it. But I still think like I need to get used to his voice a little bit. It's very much on the high end of the spectrum, and it's a little poppy sounding for me. Like, I don't know necessarily if it fits in with what the guitars are playing and what the drummer is playing. Like, it sounds great with the keyboards because they're like in the same kind of frequency levels. I don't know. This was just interesting, I think, is the word for it. I'm going to have to listen to more of them. If they keep this kind of like amped up high energy kind of like effect for all of their songs, like, I think this is one of those bands where it's just, I'm probably going to have to be in a certain mood to listen to them. Because you don't always want to party all the time. You don't always want to listen to like an Andrew WK. You have to be in the mood for it. And obviously, I'm not saying that sounds like this or anything. I'm just saying he parties all the time. Very Eddie Murphy of him. Yeah, but I'll definitely check out more to see where the rest of their music and the rest of their discography lands in relation to this one.